Turnbuckle Tabloid cutting a promo. So I was reading an article this week about how they're planning or want to break up the RK Bro. And I'm like, really? I it always astounds me. It always makes me wonder, why would you start breaking up like hot tag teams? Me being a big tag team guy myself, I've always said, why is it that tag team breakups have to be such a huge commotion? Why does it have to be such a traumatic experience? Why is it why does it have to be something so major? Why can't we just have tag teams just shake hands and say, I'm going a different direction? It's always got to be something of a heel turn or something. No, you know what? It's always a fucking heel turn. Always got to be. Miz, I think, is the king of the heel turns when it comes to his tag teams. I never understand why it has to be this way. One of the best breakups of a tag team, and I know many people were upset by it because they were like, well, it was stupid, but not knowing the backstory and also how it will later play out was when Team 3D was broken up because they did it via the draft. But it's always something to the along the line to where it's never like that build up. We just saw Rhea Ripley and Liv break up. Rhea turned on her. You saw like a slow simmer of her unhappiness, but I never understood the whole aspect of why rush it so fast. JD asks, it makes sense, but only if you're putting Riddle into the main event picture, since Randy is pretty much going to be part-time. Bender Britt says it's always a big risk, but sometimes it pays off. In some example, it works for both guys, but usually works all better for one of the guys more than the other. Yeah, but when have we seen instances that it worked out for both guys? I think they've always ridden that wave, especially in WWE, where they looked at the prototype of these breakups when it was the Rockers, when Shawn and Marty broke up. And they thought that was such a big, long-lasting kind of effect that occurred that you could always think that you could either emulate it or repeat it. And it's like, no, one became a megastar and one became a delusional fucking crackhead who believes that he could fuck his daughter. I don't know. Allegedly. Henry says one of the best breakups was the Steiner brothers. And and even that, I look at that and I go, why? I'm watching the wrestling bios and OSW, and they were talking about that tail, and even that blow off was horrible. It's always got to be that exclusive kind of, let's separate the two because we could bank on one and the other. We saw this with as recently as with heavy machinery. Maybe okay, Otis was the likable one, the guy that they saw potential in, and Tucker was an asshole, maybe. Okay. But even that, you turned the wrong guy because Otis ended up being a fucking heel. I know he was a fun, lovable guy, but he turned out to be a fucking heel. And you know what you end up doing? Putting him in another fucking tag team. Same thing with Rhea. Rhea and Nikki ASH. Nikki turned heel. We haven't seen her since. Like, what the fuck? I go through my years of watching wrestling and I'm saying, uh, did the British Bulldogs have a bad ending? Dynamite just went away. And Davy Boy just smoked crack, I guess. I don't know. Heart Foundation went away. I know probably due in part to injuries and such, but it went away. Edge and Christian, good one, another one. They just had their moment, and that was it. I never really understood why it has to be this rush to break up these taxes. And and this is not they're not the only ones. RK Bros not the only one because already there's uh blood in the water when it comes to the Street Profits. They're ready to break them up. Now, mind you, Montez is the star. He is the guy out there that looks like is going to be um the Shawn Michaels of the group. And I get that. But why do we have to always have it to be like something so drastic? I'm trying to look at other instances. I'm trying to think of other instances to where it's just really wasn't necessary. Like I said, Miz has fucking turned on every fucking tag team that he had. Why would anyone tag with him? Who the fuck knows? Like it's going to end badly. Um Triple H has never been like considered a tag team kind of guy, but anybody who's paired up with him, just get ready because he's gonna fuck you over. I'm such like a fan of long standing tag teams. And I also think about it because of what's upcoming as well in AEW, where they have Dax and Cash wrestling each other for the Owen Hart tournament. And I know that it was them who put this together and they wanted this match to happen. But I also say, like, you could have booked that so much better. You could have put them in preliminary matches, had them um wrestle through maybe the first round and then see each other in the second round. But it's just, why is there such a need for this? And not only tag teams, even factions. I'm thinking about the Shield had such a good fucking run, and they were still riding high at the time. Evolution the same way. Every year you had a Bullet Club fucking defection. Somebody was turning on somebody. It was like almost every fucking year. You, I'm trying to remember when we saw that happen with the Horsemen. Like, you never seen Arn and fucking Rick beat the shit out of somebody to tell them to get the fuck out of the Horsemen, unless I'm mistaken. Somebody could correct me on that, but all right, Ben, the oddities, of course. They were the faction the whole year. I get it. Uh we know that those guys just was the anticipus of what a faction was. I mean, you you never seem to embrace it. And I had conversations with people who are in the business where, although they're utilized because of booking talent and because of uh, the time that they fill, but not many promoters are fans of tag teams because it's all about the money, how to pay them off, and how it's divvied. But tag team wrestling has been the quintessential backbone of fucking wrestling for the longest time. And with that, you still have the riding high, you know, tag teams who are drawing money, but yet you're still in your mind going, okay, how the fuck are we gonna break them up? Did we ever see Demolition break up? I think we saw the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, whatever you're gonna call them. They break up because of Hawks his demons, his addictions and shit like that. But as per wrestling wise, no. Midnight didn't break up. What they did was that due to money restraints and due to injuries and stuff, they just brought in another guy who slid right in. These days, everyone believes that the turn is the money. And you find out a lot of times that people are like, ugh, really? This is what we're doing? Yeah, the Radicals did pretty well. Um Hell, I remember London and Kendrick was a solid tag team as well. But these days, everything is the pivotal who will turn on who. Like these guys, they're not even in the tag team for 6 months, and they're like, "Uh oh, writing's on the wall. Got to get rid of them. We got to push somebody forward." I only say this because, like I said, I'm such a fan of tag team wrestling, and it annoys me that I'm not sure whether it's the promoters, the bookers who want to do this, or do they get a sense of the the fan base, and now especially with social media, that's like, oh, this tag team needs to break up already. Like right now on Raw, we're seeing the 20th anniversary of Randy Orton in wrestling, and I'm waiting for the Twitter fingers to go. Oh, is this where Randy turns on Riddle? No, not yet, because they still have the big match coming up for the unification. That's when it'll happen. It'll happen at WrestleMania Backlash. But the best part about it would be that people go, "No, it's Riddle this time. Riddle's going to be the one that's to be the turn." I don't know, man. I like I said, me being such a big tag team guy, I'm happy with the fact that I could see tag teams go for such a long time. Hell, remember when the Briscoes? They didn't break up. They just did their singles run for a bit, and it was fine. Jay was going for the world title, and Mark was going for the TV titles and shit like that. And that's cool. You don't need a full-fledged breakup. People could still do their own shit and come back and kick ass and get fucking tag titles or go for tag runs. I think in society we are so set with the fact that doom and gloom is coming, so we might as well prepare for it, and we'll just like say fuck it, this turn is gonna happen, so might as well prepare for it. I'll be the one to tell you, especially with this arcade bro thing. I was the first one I was out here, even if you listen to the early episodes where I said this is fucking trash. Like I don't get this shit at all. I don't understand it. Uh but it grew on me. And that's what it's supposed to be. Certain tag teams are supposed to grow on you. Oski is like, if Private Party breaks up, we all know who's going back to HOG from the team. Oof, oof, wow. Um, but it's like we are so set in our mind that we can't see teams that are working. And Randy has even said that this is probably the best time that he's been having in wrestling because it's not all pressure and he's having a good time, having fun. And you see that with a lot of tag teams. Where they just look like they work well together. They gel together. One of the best tag team matches I've seen recently was Briscoes versus FTR. Can you imagine if one of those fucking turned into a breakup? It would have diminished everything. Well, The Young Bucks kind of fucked that one up at the end of that match as well, but that's another story. I didn't even know I had the fucking thing on. Hold on. Turbo Tabloid, who's this?
Hey, I heard who's talking shit about me, son?
And who are you?
I heard that who in the comments said Isaiah Cassidy's gonna go back to House of Glory, son?
Oski, that's got to be the worst Isaiah Cassidy impression I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty awful. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? Oski coming in from the now designated fucking Disney World. You guys, you guys are looking like you're gonna see. You have
right now. I'm on. It's a small world, so and we have good Wi-Fi on this ride, so that's why I'm giving a call.
Shit, not only that, you guys are looking like a DeSantis is trying to fuck you over with your own government. It looks like there's gonna be no longer anymore.
I know. I heard. Yikes! I don't care if my rent goes up. Everything else, like, whatever. As long as they don't fuck up my rent.
Your favorite tag team of all time?
Your favorite tag team of all time? It's got to be the Hardy Boys.
You know, it sucks because I was actually waiting for you to say Jay and Oski.
I mean, well, you and me are we're more of a faction. You know what I'm saying? We started a whole new.
We started a wave.
Yeah, we started a wave out here. So we're a faction. But in terms of tag teams, I got to give it to like when I think of my childhood, I think of like the Hardy Boys coming back. I think of Paul London and Brian Kendrick. Like teams that actually like came up together. I heard your point on and that's why I gave a call, because I think we do. I think that needs to be discussed more. You can't invest in a tag team when you're just waiting for the pin to drop and you're waiting for them to break up.
Right.
If you do that, then you're never going to appreciate the team for what it is.
Right.
And I truly don't think RK Bro should break up. I actually, like I said, I was on the same bandwagon with you. I thought it sucked ass, but now I'm sitting here going, this is probably the most fun I think Randy has had in his whole career, and it shows. And Riddle's getting clout from it. Riddle looks great, and I think it's benefiting both guys. And can we actually have a tag team that lasts more than a year? I'd appreciate it. Maybe the tag division would actually have some. Maybe the tag division would actually have some honor if we actually had tag teams like the Viking Experience and who else? FTR, even over in AEW, like teams that like actually don't call it quits so early.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with tag team wrestling nowadays. We don't support the teams that we even have.
Yeah, I'm more along the line to say, like, you know, what's the big payoff? Are we doing it for a shock value, or are we doing it to build a superstar? Like, what's the point?
I think the point should be to build a superstar. Like, Riddle and Randy, the day they do end up parting ways, and if Randy does do the turn that everyone thinks is going to happen, like Legend Killer style, the goal better be to get Riddle into that main picture. The goal in mind better be, which I think it is, because Randy is very selfless nowadays. Mm-hmm. I do think the goal is to push Riddle up to main event status, and I know I can't believe I'm saying that, because a year ago I was interviewing the guy as he was enjoying the life of House of Glory at the Indies. But yeah, I think that the goal better be to push up the up and coming star. Like I mentioned the private party comment on Facebook because it's a good point that if they were to break up, it's because they see maybe AEW or creative sees a star in one of them. And Jim Cornette even said it himself. Mark Quinn could be a superstar, I think, by himself. And no offense to Isaiah, but the breakup has to matter. And in some cases, some of them just shine by themselves, and there's a possibility of creating a superstar. So it better matter. If their breakup happens, it better matter. It better create a new superstar, like you said, or a better, or maybe they see potential in both of them in singles, like the Briscoes. They break up and they both do their own thing, mid-card and main title. Like, it needs to matter. It either matters or it's Vince saying, they faced Viking Experience 45 times. We have nothing else for them. Just break them up.
Well, we already know that one is gonna go to Dynamite and Rampage, and the other one's gonna be on Dark Elevation. So we already know what that's gonna happen as.
That is true, but like it just has to matter. Like I'm sick of everyone complaining about the tag division on WWE, which I find pretty funny in the news this week that FTR are possibly in talks to come back, and it's like, oh, look who the cattle called, whatever the cattle called black, whatever the fuck the term is. Oh, looky here.
Well, I mean,
course,
listen, that's
right?
not anything new. I mean, this is something that occurs in the business all the time. They just go out. Look at Drew McIntyre. They get rid of Drew, gets rid of him, becomes huge in fucking indies and other shows. They bring him back. So that's not anything new.
I know, but FTR was big, like, fuck you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Drew didn't do that. Drew got fired. Like, he wanted to stay, and he realized that what he did wrong. Like, FTR was more like, yeah, I'm leaving. The tag division sucks. Fuck this company. Like, and now look who's coming back, or wants to anyway. And
well, I don't think they want to. I think WWE just likes them and they're pursuing it. But, you know, it's the nature of the beast, and now that we have that availability where we could do that, especially for tag teams, where we've all heard stories that Vince is not a huge tag team guy, but it helps to know that
he was though back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know what clicked with him to where he's like, nah. I truly believe that the tag title should be one title on both brands. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a big fan of the brand split. Don't get me wrong, but the title unification idea I think is needed. Like I think all titles need to unify. I don't think there's enough talent created on the brands to have two of each. I think that there's not enough tag teams to have two title belts.
I agree with that.
Like that needs to be done. Like these belts need to be unified, and there should be one tag team champion for both brands and face. And they should have like a ranking style where like the top rank on both brands faces them at the pay-per-view. Like there has to be a better way, because the reason, one of the reasons why I fell out of love of wrestling is because of that. Because there's two champions on each brand, so it doesn't matter. Like, I'm sorry, like, when Roman Reigns was champion, the person who was champion on Raw didn't matter.
Right.
No offense to Big E or anyone, but they weren't relevant because Roman was such a big star.
Right.
So I think it's time. I think it's way time for the tag division to do it, and I think that it's showing with Roman that it just works.
Well, you know, but the world is different now, because now you got every show and every network has to have their own champion, because it's like, well, you know, you can't just keep all your title belts on your one side. We need one as well. So this is why I've always said that, okay, give a unification title, tag team title to whatever, and the other belt will be a TV title that you only defend on fucking TV shows. How about that?
Right. There has to be a way.
They have to volley from every show, so you're always seeing something.
I agree. Well, first off, I think nowadays, because the live events have gone away, and like the needy schedule that WWE used to do is lesser. I truly think that if you're a champion, you should be on both shows, no question, no.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No question, no ask, nothing.
That's what you work for.
And if you want to grind, and if you want to be the champion, and you want to get that pay bonus, you should be on both shows, no question asked.
I'm more inclined with the fact that
I think that would solve the problem.
I'm more inclined, like I said, get rid of like the unify the separate belts and just add more different belts. Like I said, they do it in Japan. They did it for fucking in NWA. They did it in WCW. They just added more belts.
I wouldn't even be opposed to like the idea you're making, where like you make one tag team champion on one brand, and it's kind of like the Cruiserweight Championship, where it's like if you want to see tag team wrestling, you come to Raw, and if you want to see like the TV title go on the line, you go to SmackDown. Like there's not enough talent. I'm sorry. I know we complained, oh, WWE is too much, and listen, now I'm saying that there's not enough.
Well, it's different with tag teams though. It's different with the tag team division. That's what it is. It's different with the tag team division, because even when I'm doing my WWE 2K22, wink wink, nod nod, I'm looking at the tag.
GM mode is so fun.
It's better now, right?
Yeah, I like it.
All right. now that I'm looking at the tag teams that are on there, I'm going, shit, they really don't have much. They don't have shit.
No, the only tag team I think that matters on 2K is fucking Montez Ford and fucking Dawkins.
Right.
And even that, I'm like, fuck. Like, I see WWE trying. I mean, like, the whole Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo team's pretty cool.
Los Lotharios.
Yeah, and the Viking Experience is a good, reliable team to have, and like those teams are good, but like there's not enough for me to care.
Right.
The tag division, and plus get those red and blue straps the fuck out of here. That's not a problem. You can't take a championship serious if it looks like a fucking fruit roll up.
Well, look at what Henry said. Henry says get rid of the tag team titles with the extra large quarters in the buckle and that big ass W. No, I like my championship titles to look like championship titles. I was watching OSW this week where they were doing Halloween Havoc, and when you saw Goldberg come out with that belt, you go, "Fuck, that's a belt. That's a championship right there."
Yep. And that's why I like AEW right now because, like, you know,
their tag titles are nice.
Belts are beautiful.
Yeah, those tag titles are
beautiful. And when someone wins them, I'm like, they just got a nice piece of hardware. Whoever wins the tag belt, I feel like they're it's more of a punishment that they have to carry around those big pieces of shit around luggage as fucking luggage. Like, honestly, like, it's like, oh, I need to carry this piece of shit around now to JetBlue. Like, it doesn't look good.
I would throw them shits in a truck where they're bringing the rings in and fucking put it right there.
Yeah, just chuck them in with them. I mean, like, I don't want to carry this shit.
Right, exactly.
Like, see, that's a big problem too. Like, I think the tag team depth isn't good right now. I think that it needs to unify. But I know the conversation was breakups, and I do want to get back. I do want to like just mention my favorite tag team is the Hardy Boys, and yes, they have broken up multiple times. Mm-hmm. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Matt Hardy because he's a pussy. And I don't know if you saw on TikTok and online. I used to love Matt Hardy. He's my favorite wrestler. I love the guy. Now he's going on TikTok posting all these things with Rebby on her TikTok saying like, oh, it was Vince's fault that I burned the dog, or like I burned the house in storyline.
Huh?
Dude, like remember when Jeff and Matt
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Matt. Rebby is using her TikTok for as clout to go up to Matt like when they're eating dinner, and it's like, hey Matt, can you tell my viewers about that storyline where like the house burned down? And Matt all Matt says for all the TikTok videos are, yeah, it's Vince once again making me look like a horrible person, burning my brother's house, and I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it because WWE is a piece of shit. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, seriously, like you know damn well at the time you were like, yeah, it's pretty cool. That'll give me some heat. Give me a break, bro.
Wow.
Like, seriously, give me a break. Like, honestly, wow. I love Matt Hardy, but that's starting to piss me off, dude.
But he's always been like that kind of.
And even the pyro, remember Jeff Hardy's pyro mistake?
What, and it blew up and all that shit?
Yes, on TikTok, Matt was like, "Oh, once again, Vince being Vince, he wanted to injure my brother and make that a part of the storyline, and I had no say in it. But once again, we did it because we felt like we had to do it, and it was forced." I'm like, "Oh, here we go, blah 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 blah." Shut up, dude.
Oh my god!
If it wasn't for Vince, you wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I'm saying. You should right to this day. You should be blowing Vince because he's the one that allowed you guys to wrestle at fucking 17 years old when you weren't supposed to be on TV. Although you lied and said that you were older, you were found out, but they still let you be on TV. So you should be giving him fucking head right now.
Right.
Awful.
Right, but no, you're on TikTok on your wife's TikTok because you're pussy whipped, and you have to make excuses for storylines that. At the time,
Henry, yes, Hardys are boring on AEW, and I hope the rumors are true that Jeff says he wants out because he doesn't want to be fucking demoted to AEW Dark.
I agree. I hope those rumors are true too. If I see them buy out Jeff and comes back, I will piss myself.
Fucking ridiculous.
Because I just can't. Like, and when it comes to breakups, like I said, it has to matter. I know this is my closing statement. I don't know if you want to keep me on or whatever the case may be.
Oh no, because I'm wrapping it up.
Okay, I went a little rant there because I keep going. I'm scrolling on TikTok before I go to work, and I'm like, "Oh, Matt, what have you become? You are a pussy whip bitch, and all you do is moan and groan
of course
every single time." And Rebby's no better. Rebby is no better. She goes up to him all the time, like when he's eating dinner or something, and it's like, "Hey, babe, a fan wants to know about the time you did this." And he's like, "Oh, yes, of course. The time Vince forced me to burn Jeff's dog in storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, the days." Oh, the misery. I'm like, okay, dude, give me. I never heard you complain like this before. Give me a fucking break.
And this is Oski's rant on his on never wanting to fucking see your idols become shitheads.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I used to love Matt Hardy, but now after he's whipped and happy with his broad, I'm just like, I'm so over the pointing fingers at WWE, because one day he'll be back version 2. I'm like, nah, well, fuck you.
Doesn't it look sad to see your favorite tag team guy, your favorite wrestler, look like a fucking an wannabe cool dad wearing an outfit that he wore in the fucking early 2000s?
Yeah, he looks like he's the typical dad I see at work with the fanny pack and the New Balance is going to Disney World. Fuck you.
Wearing baggy jeans and the fucking velvet fucking shirt.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes, and the shirt that goes, this is the most expensive trip ever. Like the generic fucking vacation shirts. The most magical and expensive place on earth. Like, give me a break. Like, jeez. And I used to love Matt, but let me tell you, he needs to fucking shut up. Seriously.
All right, brother.
That's my rant.
Thank you for finally calling in.
Hey, man. I just got home. From work. I usually get out 7:30. I saw you were live. I'm about to watch the Nets get swept. I'm gonna switch. I'm switching between 3 shows right now. I'm watching Raw because I don't know, want to watch. Can you believe that?
I know, that's
weird.
Step
in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. I'm switching between Raw. I'm watching the Mets and the Cardinals game, and I'm watching the Nets hopefully get swept because Ben Simmons is a pussy.
Is he playing or no? He's not playing, right?
Nope, because he's a bitch.
Oh, God. All right, my brother.
Stephen A. Smith calls him the most pathetic sports athlete in history.
I don't know, because Kyrie's up there these days too. Kyrie could be up there.
He is. Stephen A. Smith on First Take today, he was like, he said, notice how I never said that Kyrie Irving is the most pathetic. He goes, no one tops Ben Simmons. I'm like, no, you're right.
Oh wait, Ben. Of course, Ben always got to have the list, and which curtails to hardcore shit. Ben says his best tag teams coming up was the Dudleys, the Gangsters, of course, the Eliminators,
of course,
the Rottens, and the Pitbulls. The last 3 are
they all sound like death metal hardcore bands like go to see on the side of Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Those are the ones that you'll see.
Those bands who fucking perform in the comedy club we went to on my birthday.
Yeah, those are the ones that you'll see like at the Williamsburg Pier, like shit like that.
Yeah, and they sell $5 whiskey sours.
And they're opening for like Rancid or some shit like that.
Yeah, or Kill Switch Engage. Yeah, I don't know, bro. That list really ain't it, brother. But it's okay.
All right, bro. Love you, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Love you too. All right, everybody. See you later.
Laters. Gonna post up on the Facebook page, guys. What was the most heartbreaking breakup for you guys, man? It wasn't to see Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine break up. And what tag team should never break up? That'll be another list that we put up there. Question that we put up there. So, guys who've been watching on Facebook, thanks again for taking your time and watching with us. Good looking out, and much more to come down. This week we have a conversation with Devontae's, who is going up against Dominic De Niro at Project Codename Wrestling, a match in which we here at Turnbuckle Tabloid sponsored. So you got to watch that, and much more, guys. So, guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Much more coming your way. And for you guys who was on Facebook, thanks for your partake. Laters.